Some artists chase attention, others earn devotion. Catherine O'Hara belonged to the second kind. She did arrive with noise or spectacle. She arrived with observation, a quiet intelligence that noticed how people really move, how they hide, how they love, and how they fall apart when they think no one is watching. From the very beginning of her career, she understood something rare, that comedy is about being funny. It's about being honest, and then daring to exaggerate that honesty just enough for people to recognize themselves. She learned comedy from listening, from timing, from restraint, from letting silence do half the work, and slowly, without ever forcing the spotlight, she became unforgettable to many. She will always be the mother from Home Alone, not because of how much screen time she had, but because of how deeply she anchored the story. In the middle of chaos and slapstick, she brought urgency, fear, guilt, and fierce love. She made holiday comedy feel human. You did just laugh. You felt her panic, her devotion, her refusal to rest until her child was safe. That was Catherine O'Hara's gift. She gave emotional gravity to comedy, and comedy to moments that could have been unbearably heavy. But she never repeated herself. She never stayed comfortable. Instead of chasing youth or relevance, she trusted something deeper. That if she stayed true to her instincts, the right work would eventually find her. And it did. When Schitt Creek entered the world, it did arrive loudly. It grew slowly, quietly, much like Catherine herself. And then came Moira Rose, a character who could have been a caricature, a punchline, a joke stretched too far. Instead, Catherine O'Hara turned Moira into something extraordinary. Yes, there were wigs. Yes, there was drama. Yes, there was absurdity. But beneath it all was a woman terrified of losing relevance, terrified of being ordinary, terrified of loving without control. Catherine did mock Moira. She protected her. She showed us that even the most exaggerated people are often hiding deep vulnerability, that ego is sometimes armor, and that growth does stop with age. It simply asks for more courage. Through Moira Rose, Catherine gave permission to be strange, to be theatrical, to reinvent yourself. After loss, and to discover that dignity does come from status. It comes from self-acceptance. The recognition that followed one's sudden. It was deserved. And yet, off-screen, Catherine O'Hara remained deeply private, grounded, steady. Those who worked with her speak of generosity, of humility, of a woman who elevated every room she entered without ever needing to dominate it. She did steal scenes. She served them. She made others better, and that may be the highest form of artistry. Now, as we reflect on her passing, there is sadness, yes, but there is also gratitude. Gratitude for a career built on integrity, for performances that trusted the audience's intelligence, for laughter that never felt cruel, for characters that stayed with us long after the screen went dark. Catherine O'Hara showed us that greatness does need urgency, that timing matters, that depth always outlives volume. She leaves behind more than roles, behind a reminder that comedy can be elegant, that aging can be powerful, and that authenticity, when honored patiently, becomes timeless. Legends don't disappear, they linger, in laughter that arrives unexpectedly, in performances that feel alive even years later, in the quiet understanding that some artists don't just entertain us, they shape how we feel. Thank you, Catherine O'Hara, for the grace, for the courage, and for a legacy that will continue to echo in every honest laugh.